Admiral Kreshtar observed the tactical display with the calm satisfaction of a predator watching wounded prey. The Terran fleet had arrived exactly as the Galactic Council's intelligence reports had predicted: 12 heavy cruisers, 43 destroyers, and the massive dreadnought Endeavour leading the formation. Their human commander had responded to the distress beacon from Proxima Station with typical mammalian predictability. The station itself was a smouldering wreck, its twisted metal skeleton drifting against the amber glow of the nearby red dwarf star. What the humans didn't know was that Kreshtar's hegemony forces had been the ones to destroy it, using captured Terran weapons to make the attack appear to be the work of the Zarketh swarm. The plan was elegant in its simplicity: let the humans exhaust themselves fighting the swarm, then eliminate the survivors and claim both territories for the hegemony. "Sir," reported Commander Veltash from his position at the sensor array, his crystalline exoskeleton refracting the bridge's blue light into rainbow patterns. "The human fleet is engaging swarm forces in Sector 7. Both sides are taking heavy casualties as projected." Kreshtar's mandibles clicked with satisfaction. The Zarketh swarm had arrived 3 hours earlier, their bioships hungry for combat after months of hibernation in deep space. The insectoid warriors were fierce but predictable. They would fight until every last drone was destroyed, giving the humans a Pyrrhic victory that would leave them vulnerable to hegemony intervention. Through the tactical hologram, he watched the battle unfold with detached interest. Human plasma cannons carved through swarm bioships like hot knives through protein gel, while the aliens' acid projectiles ate through Terran armor plating. The Endeavour moved with surprising grace for such a massive vessel, its captain demonstrating the tactical acumen that had made humanity such a troublesome presence in this sector. "Estimated time until engagement conclusion?" Kreshtar inquired, his attention divided between the battle and the star charts showing hegemony reinforcements approaching from 3 different vectors. 17 minutes, sir. The humans are more effective than anticipated, but they've lost 6 destroyers and taken severe damage to their flagship. When we attack, they'll be." Veltash's words were cut short by an urgent alarm from the communication station. The young officer there, her carapace still soft with youth, was frantically manipulating holographic controls. "Admiral, we're receiving a transmission from the human fleet. They're addressing us directly." Kreshtar felt a cold weight settle in his thoracic cavity. The humans weren't supposed to know about the hegemony presence. His cloaked fleet was positioned 2 light minutes away, using gravitational lensing to remain undetected. "Impossible. Our stealth systems..." Admiral Kreshtar of the Hegemony Third Fleet. A human voice echoed across the bridge, speaking in perfect hegemonic dialect. "This is Admiral Elena Vasquez of the Terran Defense Force. We know you're there. We know what you did to Proxima Station. And we know you're waiting to finish off whoever survives this little show you've arranged." The bridge fell silent, except for the hum of life support systems. Kreshtar's tactical mind raced through possibilities. A spy in Hegemony Command? Compromised communications? Advanced human sensors they hadn't accounted for. Furthermore, the human admiral continued, her voice carrying an edge that made Kreshtar's chitin crawl. "We know about the reinforcements approaching from vectors 9-7 Alpha, 12-3 Gamma, and 6-6 Delta. Did you really think we'd walk into this trap blind?" On the tactical display, the battle between humans and swarm suddenly took on a different character. What Kreshtar had interpreted as desperate defensive maneuvers now looked like precise positioning. The human fleet wasn't being pushed back. They were herding the swarm into a specific formation. "Sir," Veltash whispered, his voice tight with growing horror, "the quantum resonance signatures from the human ships. They're not showing battle damage. They're showing power buildup." Kreshtar's compound eyes focused on the display, just in time to see the trap spring. The Endeavour and her escorts hadn't been fighting for survival. They'd been using the swarm as target practice while charging their most devastating weapons. Coherent antimatter beams lanced out from every human vessel simultaneously, not at the swarm, but at the empty space where Kreshtar's hidden fleet waited.
The first salvo stripped away the hegemony's stealth systems like tissue paper in a solar flare. The second salvo began systematically destroying ships before they could react. Kreshtar watched in stunned disbelief as vessels that had taken decades to construct were reduced to expanding clouds of superheated plasma in mere seconds. "How?" he managed to rasp, his voice box struggling to function as his ship's hull began to breach around him. Admiral Vasquez's response came through the crackling communication system as emergency bulkheads sealed around the bridge. "Did you think we hadn't noticed the pattern, Kreshtar? 17 random swarm attacks in the past 2 years, all conveniently timed when human fleets were in the area, all using weapons that conveniently matched our energy signatures. We've been tracking your little false flag operations for months." The tactical display showed the true scope of the human strategy. While the hegemony had been congratulating themselves on their deception, the humans had been building a comprehensive intelligence network. They had identified every spy, tracked every supply route, and mapped every hidden base. The desperate response to Proxima Station's destruction had actually been a carefully orchestrated counter-ambush. "The Galactic Council is going to hear about this," Kreshtar snarled, even as his ship's superstructure groaned under the stress of repeated hits. "No," Admiral Vasquez replied with chilling finality. "They're not, because in about 30 seconds your entire fleet is going to be space dust, and the official record will show that the Hegemony Third Fleet was destroyed by swarm forces while conducting an unprovoked attack on a human relief mission." Funny how these things work out. As his ship's hull finally gave way to the vacuum of space, Kreshtar's last thought was a grudging respect for human tactical deception. The mammals had learned to think like predators, and in doing so, they had turned the hegemony's own strategy against them. The battle was over in less than 4 minutes. The swarm, reduced to a handful of bioships, retreated into hyperspace. The human fleet, with minimal actual damage, began rescue operations at Proxima Station. And scattered throughout the system, the wreckage of 63 hegemony vessels served as a permanent reminder that underestimating humanity was a mistake no one made twice. Admiral Vasquez stood on the bridge of the Endeavour, watching the debris field disperse on solar winds. "Helm, set course for Earth. Intelligence wants a full debrief on Operation Mousetrap." "Yes, ma'am." "And the hegemony reinforcements." Vasquez smiled grimly as she reviewed the sensor data showing 3 more fleets dropping out of hyperspace, only to find their target long gone and their allies destroyed. "Let them explain to their high command how they lost an entire sector fleet to a random swarm attack. Something tells me the hegemony is going to be too busy with internal investigations to bother us for a while." The humans had learned the most important lesson of interstellar warfare. Sometimes the best way to win a battle is to make your enemy think they've already won, right up until the moment they realize they've walked into a trap of their own making.